I know there are a lot of times when people will say that something changed their life. And I want you to know that what I'm sharing with you today is absolutely something that changed my life and changed my life for the absolute better. And that thing is human design. I discovered human design in 2017 when I was going through my own growth journey, and I was just looking for tools and resources that could really just help me understand who I was on an energetic level. And I came into human design, and it really gave me words to describe the challenges that I was facing and how I was seeing myself versus how the world was seeing myself. So, if you don't know what human design is, it is a methodology that includes ancient and modern sciences, things like astrology, the I Ching, the Kabbalah tree of life, quantum physics, and a whole bunch of other things. And it really is the energetic blueprint to your soul. I describe human design like this. Have you ever been in a situation where someone asked you, why did you do a thing, if you knew that it wasn't what you really wanted to do, and internally you just can't explain why, but you also know that you chose the answer that you chose because it was the safe bet. It was the thing that was expected of you. It was what everyone told you was the right choice, but there was something instinctual. There was something in your gut that told you to do the opposite. If you really understood who you were on an energetic level, you would be able to put words to why you are making the right choice for you, even if everyone tells you that's not the choice. Human design gives you the language to do just that, not just in your life, but in your business. Human design really gave me a chance to find my authentic and my true self, to create the boundaries and the courage to communicate them in a way that really allowed me to stand in my integrity and create my core values. Human design also taught me why my limiting beliefs were my limiting beliefs, why I felt so indebted to my cultural agreements. And when I started using human design in my personal life, those enhancements bled into my business, and I started showing up in my business differently. And through that, because I am the person I am, the forever student, I wanted to learn more about the system. So I started diving into it. And here I am, some 6, 7 years later. I am a certified level 4 quantum human design practitioner. I'm certified in traditional human design. I use human design in my life. I use human design with my family, my friendships, and with my clients. And what they have been able to do with human design is incorporate it in their lives and therefore change their businesses. And there are 5 human design types: manifestors, manifesting generators, projectors, and reflectors. If you want to learn more about human design and you want to find out your type, you can head over to my website. It will be linked in the show notes, so that way you can download a free copy of your human design chart and also a free guide to get all of the basic information to start your journey in human design. And the reason why you're going to want that information if you don't know your human design type is because in this episode, I want to give you a sneak peek on what I shared with clients recently about how to understand what isn't serving you when you are launching products and services in your business, and some tips that you should lean into instead that can really have you selling on an energetic level that aligns with your soul, so that way you can increase your profitability and step into your season of big profit energy. Welcome to the Big Profit Energy Podcast. I'm your host, Kim McCarter. Now, I'm going to give you a heads up. This is your season of big profit energy where bold moves, brave dreams, and big profits are just the beginning. And as a reminder, baby, you got this.
Yeah.
Now, there are a lot of people who actually struggle with selling. And a lot of times you may think it is your consistency, you may think that it is your strategy. But here's the thing, I know a lot of women who are working really hard to grow their businesses and just not where they need to be. So if it was consistency, and we know that hard work is a thing, then everybody in their business would be millionaires. Then we have a school of thought that says it has to be the strategy. I need to know exactly how to do this. A lot of you have access to all of the strategies. You've tried the funnels, you've tried overcoming objections on sales calls, you've tried cold selling, you've tried the daily live streams, and it still is not working. So it's not access to the strategy. It's really because we are all designed to sell differently, and that's where you have to lean into your energetic blueprint. When you understand your energetic blueprint, you really understand that, one, there is no right or wrong way. And it's not that the coaches that you may have been through, the books that you have been read are wrong. It's just that you don't understand how to apply the information to you. So in this episode, I hope to give you an overview on how you can really just show up as your true authentic self and really take your business to where it is you desire for it to go. Human design is a very comprehensive tool that will change how you show up in your life and in your business. Here's the thing I think that so many people are missing in the marketplace, and one thing I think that is super important that we have to understand. There is a collective shift happening in the world, and this has actually been happening pre-pandemic. Like, we live in a world right now where everything is pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, even though we understand C-19 is still a thing. Pre-pandemic, we were already starting to see a shift, but a lot of people were not paying attention to it. Post-pandemic world, more people are paying attention to it. Conscious consumerism is a thing. People want to buy from brands that they resonate with. And even as a small business owner, you are still a brand. And how you are showing up in the marketplace is going to be essential. Energetic selling principles and having that inside of your offers and what you're doing and your content is really going to help you show up as your authentic self, because you are selling from your core values and your integrity. The fear-based ways of selling are out the door. People are tired of it, they're sick of it, and they know all of those strategies. People are trying to NLP us to death. I want you to know is human design is not meant to limit you. So when you start learning more about human design, especially if you are trying to learn it on your own, don't box yourself into what you're reading about human design. The whole idea of human design is for you to take it and apply it to yourself, and then start to dig down into human design, your energetic blueprint, so that way you can really understand how to make it work for you. The most powerful things in human design are going to be learning how to live through your authority and strategy, but getting down into your gates and having that full human design experience, knowing how to bring it into your life and also into your business. When you are actually able to do that, you get to the fulfilled life. And you start to have that fulfilled life in all areas of life. I talk about the 7 areas of a fulfilled life. That is faith, fun, fitness, family, friendship, finance, and forward movement. It is where you get the chance to really activate your big profit energy, because your embodiment and the strategy are going to meet to really make sure you can live the desired life and you can get there quicker, sooner, faster. One of the things you really want to start to do is take the strategy and apply the embodiment and the principles and the manifestation processes on top of it, so you can move your life forward. When you are doing this, you get back to the selling through your authentic soul, and you really get a chance to understand, like, wait, I get to do this as me. I no longer have to code switch, and I no longer show up in a way that feels manipulative or I'm using fear-based tactics. You also start to pay more attention to the people who are showing up and not the people who aren't. One of the things I stress to people is that you can have low numbers and still make sales. That is so extremely important for each and every one of you. Making sure you understand that it's not the biggest engagement that's going to get you there. It's really paying attention to the people who are showing up. one of the things that is really big for me is that even if I only get 5 people into a thing, or even if I only get 2 people into a thing, I'm going to give those 2 people, those 5 people, those people who are there my all. And I get to remember that I got to show up and change 4 people's lives. If I can show up and change 4 people's lives, I'm going to show up in the same energy that I'm changing 400 lives. And in fact, when I show up and change 4 lives, I know that I got to get in even deeper than I would have been if it was 400 people inside of a thing. Making sure you are understanding that is really going to change how you are viewing your business. In human design, there are 5 energy types. I'm going to kick this off talking about our reflectors. Because our reflectors are only 1% of the population, and it's sometimes hard to run into or even meet a reflector, they end up getting saved for last. And I'm just going to make you first. I'm going to make you a priority because you already have enough to wait on. Reflectors are using the lunar cycles to make decisions. That's how they process. It is their strategy. Our strategies help us make sound decisions based on our energetic blueprint. And that is also true for reflectors when they are selling products, services, or even using launches. They actually have to take advantage of that full lunar cycle. And that's one of the reasons why I say reflectors, they are the true believers for, I believe, in the longer the runway, the better the launch. Once a reflector knows how their energy processes through a lunar cycle, they can then prepare themselves to have like the heavier parts of their launch attached to their high energy weeks or their high energy spikes. An example of that is, let's say if you're a reflector and you want to run a challenge or you want to host a webinar. When you know your energy cycle, you'll plan that activity for those high moments, and you'll probably use those low moments to reset and recharge. That is something that's going to be super important for a reflector. And as you are showing up in your selling, you kind of have to come off of a lot of those sales scripts, and you really have to lean into who you are. Reflectors are just that. They are our mirrors. We see ourselves through you. And because of that, we need you to tell us what is the roadblock to help us see what's possible for us based on your zone of genius. When you can lean in and do that, you will actually see not only your revenue grow, but you'll also see how people are drawn to you a lot more. And you'll also get a chance to really increase the transformation that you are offering, because your value will go up exponentially, because people want someone who can really paint the picture of what is possible for them and show them how to go through it, so that way they can get to the other side and do what they want to do. So as you're looking at the bridge you are helping people over, it's really about like, hey, these are the roadblocks you're going to encounter, and then do this to see what's possible. Next, I want to talk a little bit about our projectors, okay? So I actually absolutely love projectors. I don't know why I'm so drawn to projectors. Well, actually, I do know. Projectors are like my little sister baby cousins. They are the people I just want to take under my wing and mentor and hug on. And I know it's because of their calm and relaxing spirits. I am a 6'2" manifesting generator. I'll talk to you guys about manifesting generators last. But as a manifesting generator, my energy is so high when I'm in public. That 2, which is the hermit, allows me to kind of go into my shell. So I'm drawn to projectors because they are calm. They are sensible. They are the people who I can just like relax and chill with. And as someone who is a high energy being, I need that calm space. I need someone that I can sit in a room with and they won't say nothing if I don't say nothing. And I love that about projectors. I also love that projectors give us a bird's eye view. They are the people who create systems and processes. So projectors, when you are showing up, because you're waiting for the invitation, which is your strategy, it's going to be important for you to make sure that you are in spaces where people want your wisdom. If you show up and start trying to just push your wisdom on people, you will feel rejected, and that's not what we want you to do. We want you to serve in your genius. We want you to remember that your system, your process, that view that you get is actually the thing that we need to move forward. This is one of the reasons why I tell projectors, when you are showing up in the marketplace, you're not the person who's going to do anything that's going to require you to do forced selling. So if someone's giving you strategies like to cold call people, jump in the DMs, go door to door, or like send a whole bunch of emails, that's going to take you out of alignment because it's going to be forced selling. As a projector, you are waiting for people to invite you into the conversation. And there are definitely ways that you can position yourself in the market to do that. I really do believe as a projector, when you lead with, this is the system that I created, and this is how I make your life easier, or this is how this system makes your life easier, you will actually see more and more people be drawn to you and ask you to help them. And being able to have processes in place that allow you to have more people invite you in is going to be the things that you love. I always also feel like that when projectors are showing up with that kind of content, if your call to actions give people the opportunity to raise their hand and say they want more information, that's going to place you in position to stay in alignment so that way you can move your business forward. I also really want more projectors to understand that it is okay for you to stay calm, for you to stay collected, and for you to take those breaks that you love. I used to have a client who was like a little sister cousin, and anytime I talked to her, she was in the bath. Once I introduced my clients to human design, she knew. She was like, I love taking baths, but I always got something to do. I was like, girl, take your baths. Put your feet in some grass. Do the things you need to do to reconnect with yourself. Projectors, that's so important to you. Making sure you are doing something in your soul care that's going to really let you reset and recharge is going to be great for who you are and how you're showing up in the market. During your launches, you want to make sure your soul care hours are built into your launch strategies, because you're going to need that after you're showing up on live or a webinar or sales calls. Being able to stop and reconnect is actually going to prepare you for the next day or the next set of calls. But what's really important is making sure you are really showcasing your wisdom and systems, and literally just saying to people, like, let me show you how I can make this easier for you. What have you tried and hasn't worked for you? Because when they give you those answers, it allows you to accept the invitation and move yourself and your business into position. I want to talk about manifestors next, okay? So one of the things I love about manifestors is that they are our visionaries of the collective. They are really meant to lead the charge. They are really here to initiate things. One of the things I think happens and what keeps you from really moving your business forward is that you think that you are a worker and you think that you are a doer. As a manifestor, you are going to have people on your team who are going to be the workers. If you are a manifestor and a solopreneur, you want to make sure that your business is set up to be lean and very simple. You're going to need a back end that's really easy for you to manage. The biggest thing that you can do as a manifestor to increase sales in your business is to make sure you are informing people of what's coming up. Because you are a visionary, you're 2 steps ahead of us. If you haven't taught us why you're doing a thing and shared that with us, we really won't understand what it is that you're doing. We're not ready for it. We don't see that's the thing that we need. So making sure that as a manifestor, you can bring that information to people and lead them into your launch. And listen, even if you're just promoting like your lead magnet or your webinar, as a manifestor, you're going to need those couple of stories or those couple of slides that give people the what and the why, and then ask them to sign up. And also as a manifestor, because you are a visionary and you are 2 steps ahead, you have to make sure that you actually give people the time they need to process what they need to process before they make their buying decisions. So making sure that you understand as a manifester that you probably won't always get the sale on the call. They probably will tell you that they need time, and that's okay. Now, here's the thing. I know that when you are in a launch, you're thinking about like getting as many people in as possible because that's what we've been taught. There are definitely ways and strategies that you can shorten people's buying cycles, and that's having a fast action bonus, reminding them of what the deadline is, making sure that you have some automations or some ways in which you are going to follow up. I do think that my manifestors, because you have that defined throat, that talking is always going to be the best way for you to increase conversions. So anything that's going to let you talk and really walk people through something is going to be vital to how you are going through your launch periods and cycles and how you are selling. So manifestors are also going to be those people that I've noticed who don't like writing a lot. They don't like having to go in and write out a whole bunch of emails. If you find yourself as a manifestor getting in your head when writing out emails, here's a tip for you. Pull out a voice note, pull out Zoom, and just talk. And when you talk, you can then take that recording and use that to really go, okay, I'm just going to create my email around what I talked about. That helps manifestors do a lot of the things they need to do because you guys do have the gift of gab. One of the things I also find interesting is that a lot of manifestors that I have met throughout the years are the people who were always told to be quiet. And it's because they were always trying to figure out, why are you doing it that way? And they didn't care who they questioned about it. And because manifestors are always looking for answers, and because they are visionaries, and because they are change makers, that puts them in a position where they can question authority. And authority doesn't always like to be questioned. And because authority doesn't always like to be questioned, what happens? They tell you to be quiet. So now you're at a time in your life when you do need to speak up, where you do need to create change, where you do need to be an initiator, and we're telling you to be the born visionary that you are. So now what's happening, you're like, but how am I supposed to do that? This is where the deconditioning process is going to be so important to you as a manifestor, because you have to go in and you have to discover what are the limiting beliefs and cultural agreements that are keeping you acting in a way that is not your authentic and true self. Once you learn to understand that, then you can go in, start the deconditioning process, and replace those limiting beliefs and cultural agreements with affirming beliefs that's going to move you forward, okay? Now let's talk a little bit about our generators. Our generators are the doers of the collective. If you are a generator or a manifesting generator, that means that you have a defined sacral. Now, I actually talk about generators and manifesting generators as two different types. Our manifesting generators are a hybrid type. Generators have just the defined sacral. I do know that there are a lot of human design practitioners and coaches who talk about them as one, because originally they were only 4 types until they realized that this 5th type, the manifesting generator, is a hybrid. I talk about generators and manifesting generators as 2 different types, and I think part of that is because I am a manifesting generator and I see the unique differences between myself and generators. And I think I bring a very unique insight to that as a manifesting generator. So I'm going to separate the 2. Generators, you have that defined sacral. That defined sacral is giving you that life force energy. Because you have that life force energy, people are drawn to that aura. They're drawn to that energy. You have to take advantage of that energy when you want to sell anything, and allow people to see that energy, because that energy, when you are in alignment, when you are talking about a thing that excites you, when you are talking about a thing that you love, they're going to be drawn to that energy. A lot of generators actually have a hard time with things that are evergreen, and part of that is because it is pre-recorded. When you are a generator and you are talking about something you absolutely love and you feel like it is hard for you to show up in that moment, there is one thing that you can do that can help you get pre-recorded things done, and that is to do them when you are in the energy of doing it. When you are a generator and you really be like, oh my gosh, I got an idea, go ahead and get that idea out. Grab a microphone and just start talking, getting that idea out of you. I have a microphone by Shure. It's called like the MV88 or something. And it actually fits inside of my purse. And I keep it with me all the time when I am traveling. So that way, if I have a content idea, I can just pull it out and start talking. I do know that this microphone is going to be very beneficial with me now that I have a podcast that's dropping twice a week. Now, you may be wondering why I'm talking about myself as I'm talking about the generators, even though I said the manifesting generator was a different type. And that's because as a manifesting generator, I am a generator first before my manifesting qualities come in. I do know that there are a lot of generators who I've talked to who kind of be like, oh, I thought I was going to be like a projector, or I thought I was going to be a manifesting generator, and they're actually shocked that they're a generator. And usually that's because generators can be conditioned to act like others. One of the things that's really cool about human design is human design really is this idea that opposites attract. That same thing happens in human design. So if generators are growing up with manifestors or projectors, they're absorbing that energy that they don't have. And then they can also be conditioned to act in ways that's out of alignment for them. So when you are a generator, you want to make sure that a couple of things are no longer happening when you are doing anything. And one of those things is making sure you are not putting the needs of others before yourself. You are no longer people pleasing in your season of big profit energy. You cannot do both. If you are a generator, you have to stand on business that your needs come first, and understanding that is not selfish of you. If you are a generator and your needs are not coming first, it's going to be hard for you to show up in your business the way that you need to. You need to work on the things that light you up. You need to talk about the things that light you up, and you need to show up in a way that lights you up. When a generator is creating like products, services, and content, you really have to lean into, does this light me up? If it is a yes, go ahead and do it. If it is a no, that is not the thing. Now, the only caveat to that would be like if you are an emotional authority, which means you have a defined solar plexus, and then you have to ride that emotional wave, and your emotional wave varies. So you have to figure out your emotional wave, and then that yes or no needs to be consistent throughout the emotional wave for you to make a concrete decision. But otherwise, generators, as long as you are showing up in live environments and people are feeding off of that energy, you will absolutely show up in a way that changes people's lives and yours as well in the process. All right, so last but not least, we are going to talk about my fellow manifesting generators. And I have so many launch tips. I have so many sales strategies, and I have so much that I can tell you to do and not do as a manifesting generator. But one of the things I find really unique about manifesting generators is that we are so much more than just our type. To really learn what is going to work for you as a manifesting generator, you really do need to dig in to your gates and your circuitry. Now, granted, this is true for all of the human design types, but what I have noticed that specifically for manifesting generators, because we have that hybrid, we like to let our manifestor be our guiding light or our guiding human design type instead of our generator side. So you really have to remember that you are a generator first. So it has to light you up. It's not necessarily about initiating things. You first have to ask yourself, does this light me up? And you have to get that yes or no in that gut. And then from there, you can inform and initiate. Let me explain to you exactly what this means, things and why this is going to serve you for growing your business at a super fast speed. Manifesting generators are the definition of I can quantum leap into what I want to become. I can quantum leap my business. I can scale a business really quickly because we have that energy of that divine sacral, and we are meant to work through things really fast. We're meant to work on multiple things at a time, and we are meant to skip steps. We are really looking at things and going, how can I do this quicker? Why are you doing it that way? See how that manifestor side actually sits inside of us. And because we are thinking about how can we get this done quickly, we have to lean into our life force energy to do it. But that only works if it's something that we want to do or talk about. As a manifesting generator, whenever I have to do something and I'm not being called to do it or I'm over it, it is really hard for me to get it done. And that's one of the ways that I actually learned that as a manifesting generator, I am not here to work on long projects at a time. Being in like long extended retainers does not work for me. Having to wait on people to get things done does not work for me. That's when I realized that as a manifesting generator, I am not good as a service provider, especially when my service is tied to other people getting information back to me. I want to go in, do it, and get it done. The other thing that I know as a manifesting generator is that when I'm working on a project, I actually schedule it out and give myself 2 weeks to get things done. And whenever the energy spikes, like, oh, let me go get that done, I go in, get it done. And it's usually before the 2 week period. I'm giving myself that 2 to 3 week period because I've learned that doing it that way, I can really have time to be like, I can wait for that energy spike to get it done. The reason why this is important as a manifesting generator is because we are meant to work on multiple things at a time. I actually learned when going through my level 4 certification at Quantum Human Design with Karen Curry Parker that as a manifesting generator, working on 3 things at a time actually gives you that chance to figure out like, what should I be doing right now? Because we have so much energy, we have that defined sacral, and it's connected to that motor. For most of us, that is going to be the connection to the throat. Which ends up happening is we need some place to put this energy. And working on 3 things at a time actually allows us to do that. Here's the thing I want to say, because when I first heard that, I thought it was 3 things in my business. What I have since realized is it doesn't necessarily have to be 3 things in my business. It can actually be like just 3 things in life. And my business is a part of life as a woman entrepreneur. So whenever you hear me talking about anything, whether it's human design or not, and you hear me talking about your goals, I am never just talking about business goals. I am really talking about life goals, and it's why I lean into my fulfillment factor method so much and so important. As a manifesting generator, I want you to know this, and I want you to take this to heart. You are not meant for long launches. You are not meant for long launches. If you are working and you're planning out this super detailed launch that's going to be like 4 to 6 weeks, that is not going to work for you. You are going to get so bored and you are going to get over it really, really quickly. Now, one of the things I have done, and this is the trick, it's worked really well for me and it's worked really well for all of my manifesting generator clients, which I draw a lot of. Here's a couple of things I want you to do as a manifesting generator when it comes to your business. One, because we are multi-passionate, you are the definition of a multi-layered business model, meaning you may have some high proximity offers where people can work closely with you. Then you may run some group programs, but then you're going to have your digital products. As a manifesting generator, your digital products, those premium digital products, are going to be the thing that you are really going to love and enjoy, because one is going to allow you to work in your creative genius. 2, it's going to allow you to have multiple products working at a time. 3, is going to be the thing that is going to allow you to have those super quick launch cycles. And 4, is going to allow you to show people that, hey, I actually love getting in, digging into the details and mastering something. And now I'm going to give it to you so I can move on to the next thing. When you think about your business like that, it really shifts perspective and it shifts how you are showing up in the market. If you are a manifesting generator and people are telling you you have to focus on one thing, I want you to understand this. You can focus on one thing and make it multi-layered. Let me explain to you what I mean. When I was working in sales funnels, I really didn't know anything about human design. But I did realize that when I was working on sales funnels, what I enjoyed about it was it allowed me to put my hands in multiple pots. So I got to be the graphic designer, I got to be the website builder, I got to be a copywriter, I got to teach people how to sell, because sales funnels are so multi-layered. And it was allowing me to serve my manifesting generator activity. When I came out of sales funnels, I struggled a lot because I knew I wanted to go into the mindset space and the wellness space, but I didn't really know what that was going to look like. Now, as I've evolved and I've become the manifested version of me that I was seeking out a couple of years ago, I realized that it had to be a multi-layered approach. I am great at mindset. Like, mindset is my thing. I absolutely love it. I always want to learn more about it, but I'm bringing different elements into it. So that way I can have a multi-layered approach, whether I'm talking about mindset in business, whether I'm talking about mindset in life. I have human design as a resource, but I also have those sales funnels, and I'm actually able to bring it in. So it's like one idea. But the great thing about it is one idea I curated around my genius and my energetic blueprint. When you are a manifesting generator, really digging down into your energetic blueprint is going to allow you to see the things that you are naturally good at on different levels. And soon as you have that, it's like something clicks and it's like, oh my gosh, that's it. And you can bring it all together and you're like, wait, this is the perfect harmony of all my energetic chaos. So when you are a manifesting generator, you want to do a couple of things. One, you want to make sure that you are avoiding those long launch cycles. You want to get in, get it dirty, get it done. When you are a manifesting generator, you're going to remember that you kind of have that gift for gab. So you do have to lean into your natural element of showing up, talking, and using your life force energy from that defined sacral to get it done. The other thing that you want to do when you are a manifesting generator, you want to honor your multi-passionate energy and make sure it's included in your business model. Live engagement is going to serve you as a manifesting generator so well. Manifesting generators are going to be those of us who love going live, who love launching through live webinars. Some of us may even enjoy doing challenges. Now, here's the sticky part about challenges and manifesting generators. Because challenges have to be planned out so far in advance, and because they do have a lot of evergreen elements to it, as a manifesting generator, you can get bored with it. So one of the things that I've learned that as a manifesting generator, when the challenge bug hits me, I turn it into a live stream series. So I show up on live stream. I'm like, hey, this is the series for this week. And it's really quick that I get it done. So I'll have an idea for a series one week and I'm hosting it the next. That works really well as a manifesting generator because it gives me some place to place my energy. As a manifesting generator, you also have to make sure you are informing people around you of what's going on in your life. This is not about asking people for permission, but it's remembering that because you move so quickly, if you are not informing people and honoring their energetic blueprints, what will happen is you can throw them off and they get confused because they don't understand what's going on. Hey, you said you wanted to do this, but now you're doing this. When you are a manifesting generator, if you are just informing people like, hey, this is what I'm about to go work on, just giving you a heads up. Hey, this is what I'm thinking. I'm more likely going to go this way. Just giving you a heads up, that actually works really well, not just in your business, but in your relationships as well. Most people are not going to be able to keep up with you. One of the annoying things that happens to manifesting generators is that we don't like repeating ourselves. So when people are unable to keep up with us, we get frustrated, which is the non-self of the generators. And we're getting frustrated because we're like, I don't understand why you don't understand when I told you everything that was going on. It's because even though you told everyone what was going on, they didn't really understand. They told you they understood, but they didn't, because sometimes people are drawn to pleasing manifesting generators. They want to be loved by manifesting generators. They want to be adored by manifesting generators. They want to be in your good graces because they want to be in the aura of your life force energy that comes from your defined sacral. Girl, I know it is a lot. But the thing is, when you really start understanding that, you go, oh, okay, now I get it. Manifesting generators are going to be drawn to having communities that they can honor their multi-passionate behaviors, and they can work with people who love being in that energy. But remembering that when you are creating these energetic containers around your business, you want to make sure that you are really informing people how your creativity works and how you can subject hop. Because another thing that happens with a lot of manifesting generators is they can actually see what people need and how that can show up in their energy. They are really good at dissecting and seeing like what's happening, what's going on, and how can we fix it. Because as a manifesting generator, you are looking for how can we get this done quicker, sooner, faster. You are meant to skip steps. So when we see people doing things and they're taking a long drawn out process, we are literally going to be like, hey, we can get that done easier. Now, what you're probably going to do as a manifesting generator is you're going to work through the process yourself, figure it out, and then you're going to come back and teach it. It is absolutely okay to honor that. And all of the human design types love manifesting generators because they are looking for ways to get things done quicker, sooner, faster. We have to remember that we are now in a time where people love instant gratification. They love getting to the result as fast as possible. And manifesting generators, you help people do that. So when you bring your energy, your uniqueness, and the things that you learn about you and your human design and your zone of genius into your launch and selling processes, it puts you in a chef kiss position because you are going to bring that uniqueness to whatever it is that you're doing, and you're going to give people an element that lets them think about things in ways they've never thought about it before. Okay, so I really hope that you enjoy learning how to sell through your energetic blueprint based on your human design type. Remember, this is just a broad overview. This is not digging into the details. If you really enjoyed this, let me know, and I will create more detailed episodes on each of the human design types. I'll also create more details about different things in human design. Always follow along with me on Instagram. I go live on Instagram multiple times per week, and you never know what I'm going to talk about. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about because I'm a manifesting generator, but I usually talk so much about human design that it works really well. I hope you enjoyed this. I will chat with you next week. Yeah. And that's a wrap for today's episode of Big Profit Energy. I want you to remember, your power and success are in your hands. Keep channeling your main character energy, and don't forget to manifest your dreams into reality. Until next time, stay empowered, stay inspired, and keep igniting that big profit energy. Be sure to hit subscribe for more, and let's keep this energy flowing. I'll see you on the next episode of Big Profit Energy.